Back up, Dunbar. Too close. I mean, Eleanor, I don't know how you can get a belly this big. Look at that thing. Look like I could poke it. It would pop. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to xtimbersbison. So we just pulled in the Dunbar lease. We've got another challenge again. We're back at it. We've got to catch our remaining calves, including the one with the umbilical hernia. They need to get worked. They have not been worked. There's some important things that they need as a calf, one including black leg, and then some disease prevention at this young age, and then also a dewormer. Good morning, Dunbar. Well, you got to get back in that training process again because we got to catch them. In order to do that, we've got to bait them into our corral. So I've got the cubes here in the truck. Don't have a bucket this morning, forgot it, so I've got to figure that out. But we got to get them to go over there, and we got to start our routine with them and do a better job this time and hopefully catch all three of the calves. Mr. Dunbar and the crew, follow me. Let's go see if they'll go in the corral and eat some cubes. I'm not trying to catch them today at all. We're just coming over here, feed them some cubes, and then we'll get ready to try to catch them one day. We also, the important thing why I have to move kind of quickly is I'm gonna sell one of these heifers at our Oklahoma bison show and sell. So they should follow me in general because every time I come over here, just to give them hay, I always give them cubes just as a protein supplement during the winter. So like I don't even have to shake a bucket or anything. They know that when I show up in this truck, they get some treats. So they're following me right now. If I really want to get their attention, I just turn on the 3C remote and the feeder, and it will wake them up. Hey, bullet. They're coming. Definitely don't have a bag. Oh, look at them. Come running. I did not expect that. So what I'll probably do is I'll use this sack that I have sitting up here for trash. Okay, you gotta back up on that. Sure. We gotta open both gates. I got several little piles in there, probably, I don't know, 20 pounds of cubes, just to kind of bait them in there. I'm gonna leave this gate open and that one that I went through. So I'm just gonna back out of here. Really, this is one of those things. I don't need to sit here and watch them, so I'm gonna bail out, and then we'll be back tomorrow for day 2 of training. So we're gonna let them just figure it out. What's wrong, buddy? What's wrong? What's wrong? Morning, guys. We're back for day 2 baiting to try to really catch our calves. That's the focus. Dunbar here is waiting on his cubes. We're gonna do like we have been. Got my own sack here. Get some cubes. Gonna run through here, pour it out, run out the backside, and come back around. And then this time I'm gonna watch a little bit to actually see who goes in there, because we've got to catch those gals and the one guy, the one male with the umbilical hernia. I want to catch those calves, those 3 calves. That's our goal. We're going to take one of them to the Oklahoma Bison sale, which is coming up really soon. So we got to get them caught, worked, and all the things. So let's get some cubes out. Watch this reaction when I turn the 3C on. I get some heads. Turns. Back up, Dunbar. Too close. Back up. Good boy. Good boy. Well, it looks like all the calves are trying to go in there. I see the umbilical hernia little bull calf. He's struggling to go. He's the last one standing there. But all animals are in it except that umbilical hernia calf. And there he goes. He's trying to step in right there. A little unsure. He's unsure because his mom is unsure. There they go. All of them are in there. So they're all in there. So I'm not gonna catch them today, but this is day 2 of just basically prepping for them. So much better improvement from the first bait session, and so we'll come back for day 3 and we will actually catch them. Watch them, Sam. Golly, I don't know if she's just fat or if she's gonna pop, but that's the biggest belly I've seen on her. Golly, Eleanor. Hey, girl. Who? Him and Jackie are chasing something. Here. Girl. I mean, Eleanor, I don't know how you can get a belly this big. Big old belly. Look at that thing. Look like I could poke it. It would pop. I poked her and she lifted her leg up. What a character. On the move.
Look at him go, Brooks.
He is on a scent right now, hardcore.
He is just cruising the neighborhood.
It's good for him. Yep. Oh yeah, nose down. He's probably smelling all kinds of things out here. All right, so we got a couple comments from one of our recent videos, and some people are asking, next time you're out in the pasture with Eleanor, explain why she's by herself. And so here we are, me, Marisa, Brooks, and Bo, Bullet, and Jackie. But the reason Eleanor is out here is because, one, she's on the low end of the pecking order. So of the hierarchy system that bison have, she's pretty much at the bottom. A couple of things. One, she's smaller. She's only 850 pound cow. Two, she's different. She obviously gets close to us. We don't let her get too close because she can run into us. It's still dangerous. Also, she has some impaired vision going on. And I don't know which eye it is. I always think it's her right eye, but she doesn't see the best. And so because of all those things, she's on the lower end of the pecking order. And when the bison come in here during our grazing management, they come through here and graze in the burn unit, which is where she currently is. She has 80 acres all to herself. She'll roam with them for a little bit. She keeps her distance from them. But when they go to move pastures, when I rotate them around, she does not follow them. Ever since we put her in here, she's probably been in here for 1.5 years or 2 years. She's just, she's chose not to leave. It would be very difficult to get her all the way back to the front of the Ponderosa. She enjoys when the bison come out here with her, the rest of the Big Joe herd, but it's just one of those things where she enjoys being out here. There's no bison to push her around. She has all of the grazing that she wants, especially right now, all the cool season grazing. She gets cubes all by herself, because when the herd gets in here and we try to give them cubes, she won't get any. She'll be completely shoved out of the way, and she's really too nice, and she has to keep her distance, so she won't get any cubes at all. And that's just how it's been going. Hey, Jackie. With Eleanor. And it seems to work. Do I like her being alone back here? No, we don't really like it. But it fits her. The coyotes and stuff won't bother her. The only thing I do worry about is calving season. And Eleanor is quite plump and can be due anytime. Not showing any signs on the backside quite yet, I think, in my opinion. She's not quite ready, but she... with her having a calf, she lost her most recent calf back in May of 2024. She didn't have a calf in 25. Brooks and I found her in 24. Have a calf. And she had lost a calf. We let her mourn, and the next day the calf was gone. But anyways, she's great out here. In the bison world, if you have them pinned up, it's always good to have at least 2 together. Possibly 3 would even be better. You can't really pin them up by themselves. However, Eleanor is unique, she's special, and it works for her. And so we keep an eye on her. We come and see her once or twice a week, check on her, and she has plenty of space out here and gets special treatment and cubes like that. So hope that helps, that some of you just joined us recently while Eleanor's back here by herself.
The couple of times that we had tried to move her or get her into a smaller, what we would think is a safer environment for her out here, you know, being by herself, it's more stressful for her being alone or in a tight, confined area. I mean, she just kind of bounces around. She can't see great, so here she knows where she's at. She knows how to get around, and
yeah, even in a 20-acre paddock we've had her in, she
runs into the fences.
Her nose gets cut up, and she's always looking for the herd. But when she's out here, she doesn't do that.
No, she knows where she's at, and she knows what areas she likes to roam and whatnot. But she doesn't really have those issues here.
She's at peace, I feel like.
Yeah, there's the one time she ended up on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, she did.
Just that one time has really only been the issue out here with her, and that was because the whole herd was in here.
They pushed her out. And that fence wasn't in great shape. But, yep, she's good. And she's healthy. She looks good. We're excited for her to have a baby. And I hope it goes okay. Because she's small. I'll worry about that. And Big Joe's big. So, all right, troops. The rancher is sleeping away. I don't know if you guys noticed something, but you know, we started the bee business and we had 5, and now we're down to 2. Well, Eleanor seems to be good. Of course, we love checking up on our princess. However, the bee business is not going so great. Need to catch you guys up on what's happened here in the bee world. We started with 5 hives, 5 boxes. 5 nukes, I guess, is what you start with. And we had 3 of them right there. Back in late summer, I have a good local friend here. Her name's Julie. She helped us get this bee thing started. Pretty sunset and bullets running around chasing rabbits. But we got all this started. Everything was going great. Boxes were doing pretty well. We had a couple of queen issues. And then we brought in some new queens. And then winter started to creep in. And I want to say October, we had one of our first weird freezes. And when that hit, what had we had been doing? Let me back up a little bit. We had been feeding the bees 1-to-1 ratio of sugar water, basically sugar and water. And of course, if you've been following us a while, you probably saw us do that. Well, we were feeding them, and then we got a freeze, and so we pulled the bottles out, and we didn't feed them for a couple of weeks. And then I came to check on them, and literally, Uno, Dos, and Trace right here was gone. Robbed. Nope, not physically the boxes. The honey and the bees pieced out. We looked into, hey, what could have caused this? The mite situation, we really hadn't seen any. 2, was it the cold weather? Because of these are new starter hives. Did I not get food on them fast enough? And so Julie came and looked at it, and we just both kind of sad, frustrated. But that's part of bee ranching, I guess, what you may say for us newbies. But just ran into some difficulty. She called her friends and said, what could this have been? We're not sure really what caused the bees to leave, but she basically said that they could be anywhere. They found a hole in a tree or a crevice or in a building or something. But they basically took all of the honey, which we didn't get to harvest any honey this year because these are so new. We were going to do it next year. We got to taste the honey, which was pretty interesting. But we didn't get to harvest it because the bees have to have enough honey to make it through winter. We were feeding them and being pretty consistent with that. And then the little freeze hit. We pulled the bottles out because we didn't want the glass bottles to freeze. Came back in like 2 or 3 weeks after kind of the cold went away. And I don't know if I didn't feed them enough or get back into feeding them quick enough. Julie kind of is not sure about that. She doesn't really blame it on, I told her it was probably me because I'm a first timer. I didn't feed them enough, but these two kind of made it. They're heavy and still have honey. They're active, but these three, we had to yank them and went ahead and took them in. They're sitting here in our barn. Now we did take some of the frames that had a lot of comb built on them, and we were freezing some of them actually. So when we go to start our new little hives and boxes, we can reintroduce those frames back into the boxes that are already built. So we have a lot to learn about the bee industry. Obviously, there are some ups and downs with it, as you can tell in our first year, but we do want to harvest our own honey, and we were really excited to be able to do that this summer, 2026. Maybe we will be able to get some out of those, but in the meantime, we're really lucky to have Julie come and help us. She's been doing this for 20 years, and there's a lot to learn in the bee industry, of course. I don't know a whole lot about it, but we've learned quite a bit already, and we've learned that things can change pretty quick. It stinks, but even raising bison, we know that too. So there's you an update on the bee life here at the Ponderosa. Thank you guys for watching us. We're going to keep on bee and bison ranching.